can I partner up with? And I said, Ashley Stewart would be amazing. We're going from size 12 to 32 here, and it's so nice to see these women so excited to have my clothing line here and get some cool designs and styles. It makes me really happy.
Do you think that the fashion standards have changed?
Absolutely. I mean, fashion is reflecting now what the world is. I mean, not everybody's caught on board, but for the most part, you're seeing women of all shapes and sizes, which is what the world is. Like, we're all not a size 0. And shout out to my girls that are size 0.
As a woman with curves, what's your biggest problem when shopping for yourself?
Just the fit, finding things that fit. Something like my butt's kind of big, so I'm like jumping into pants all the time. I think I came up with that living in New York. Like, you don't have time to change in between.
Can we see any of these pieces on the new season of Power by any chance?
Actually, you will. You definitely will. Yes, our wardrobe guy there, Frank, is one of the most amazing wardrobe people, and he's definitely going to include some of them.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to film today's video because we are going to be talking about faking it till you make it. This has literally gotten me my 3 biggest celebrity interviews to date, and that was Lala Anthony, Mona Scott Young, and Miami Tips. So today I'm going to just share 5 tips on how you can fake it till you make it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the entertainment industry. It can be in whatever industry you want it to be in or whatever your passions are. So if you want to learn more, stay tuned and keep watching. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a snippet of the 3 biggest interviews of my life. That way you can know that it's real, like it's real, and after that I'm gonna give you and then after that, I'm just gonna share the tips on how I really landed these 3 celebrity interviews. So keep watching.
Hey, what's up? Mona Scott Young. So I wanted to get a little take on Love and Hip Hop Miami. What's going on, the future, more projects?
I mean, listen, we had a great first season. We're still going strong right now. I'm very excited about it. I love everything about being able to capture the essence and the duality of Miami, the 2 sides of the bridge. Being able to infuse the Latina culture into it as well. It's all been a fun and exciting ride, and we, hope the fans show us what they want.
Miami Tip here with Love and Hip Hop Miami. So I want to know a little bit about your podcast, what's been going on with that. Tell me a little bit about who's been on and all that stuff.
Well, the podcast is called Tipsy Tuesdays, and I do it every Tuesday from 8 to 10 p.m. We just added a co-host, which is another Love and Hip Hop Miami castmate, Baby Blue. On the podcast, we talk about everything. Like, if you know me, if you follow me, there's no filter. I say what I want, do what I want. So if we feel like talking about sex one day, we talk about sex. If we feel like talking about candy one day, we talk about candy. But it's definitely crazy entertaining. So far, I've had like all the pretty much most of the cast members from Love and Hip Hop. Joy, Prince was cool.
Okay.
Who else did I have? Bobby Lights. I've had mostly the Love and Hip Hop cast members, and next week we're trying to get Pleasure in and stuff like that. So it's really
okay. So as you guys saw, those 3 interviews were literally the biggest interviews of my entire life, and I've done other interviews before, but they just haven't been as exciting or as big as this one or as these. And so I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was really, really nervous in the Lala Anthony one. I wasn't as nervous in the Mona Scott or Miami Tip one because I had my 2 girlfriends there with me. But in the Lala Anthony one, I was there by myself. I didn't know anybody. It was, it was a lot going on, and I just wanted, and I was so nervous. The fact that I literally had her right next to me, I couldn't believe it. It was like all these emotions going, like running through me. So it was a lot to kind of handle all at once, but I made it through. And honestly, I couldn't have been happier with how everything came out. So the 5 tips that I'm gonna share with you guys really apply to anything in life. And these 5 tips are tips that I've taken myself that have been able to land me those 3 interviews that you guys saw, plus tons of other interviews that I've also done. Okay, so I'm gonna be using my phone because I actually wrote them down. That way I didn't forget, and so I can give you guys tip by tip. Okay, so number 1, being confident. Being confident is like the number 1 thing that you need to have. You need to be confident in who you are and what you have to offer. in why you're there, like your value. You need to ooze confidence, like you belong there. You can't tell, nobody can tell you nothing, you know what I'm saying? So you can't be shy, because especially in the entertainment industry, it's all about putting yourself out there. So if you are shy and don't put yourself out there, you're not gonna be able to get anything out of it. And you know, I feel like a lot of people say this, but it is true. They will eat you and spit you out because it is that rough. Like, you really have to have it together. And so I think one of the main things that allowed me to build my confidence throughout the years was not really giving, like, I guess, excuse my French, but not really giving a shit about what other people think. I really don't care about what other people think, what other people have to say, criticism. Nothing really phases me. I feel like I know who I am. I know what I have to offer. I know my beliefs and my values, and that's all that matters. So I really always try to instill that in my head and always replay it, because obviously outside factors can affect you, but you have to maintain strong in who you are, and really that's gonna help you in becoming and staying super confident in yourself. So that's number one. So especially in the entertainment industry, you have to be confident. It's like a must. The way I got these interviews, in one of my past jobs, I actually met a really, really good friend. So she was a co-worker, and then she became a really good friend. She happened to be a media correspondent for a news channel. I won't disclose it or anything like that, but I've always been interested in the entertainment industry. My dream is to be an on-air personality. She was involved in all of that, and she told me, she's like, hey, whenever I can't do something, I can definitely give you all the details, and you can show up and you can do it yourself. This is good content for you. And I was like, wait, you would really do that for me? She was like, yeah, girl, we're here to help each other out. And that was really nice, because I feel like women sometimes are very competitive towards each other. Not all, but it does tend to happen where it's like, well, I can't give you my secrets because then you're gonna be better than me, or, you know, and it's just, well, everybody can eat. Through her, that's really the way I got all of my big 3 interviews. It was through her, and it was a blessing, because I wouldn't have been able to get those if it wasn't for her. However, I did have to put in a lot of work aside from her getting me those gigs, because I had to prepare myself. I had to make sure that I did my research. So she gave me the gig, but I had to do everything else. And so if you have somebody like that, that can be, I want to say she's almost like my mentor in this specific avenue. But if you don't have anybody in the industry, what you can do, which I've done before as well, is you DM those people that are currently doing what you're doing, that are where you want to be at, and you ask questions. You say, hey, I don't want to intrude, but I love your work. I love what you've been doing. I just want to get a little insight and more guidance in how I can take the necessary steps to get to where you are. And you'd be surprised. Some people are very responsive, and they'll write back. They'll give you tips and tricks, and then you implement those. Not everybody is gonna walk you by your hand and you know, and stand by you, but they will give you a little bit of what helped them so that it could potentially help you. And so that was really good, because I've done that maybe 2 or 3 times, where I've DM'd girls that are doing media correspondence, and they'll write back to me and give me details of how they started, what do I need to have, how do I prepare myself, and stuff like that. Another really good thing is attending networking events. This is really, really huge, because you will never know who you meet at these networking events that can put you on, or that can really make an impact in your life. And it's just nice to have those connections and those contacts, because you never know what can come out of them. So definitely going to networking events. I know Eventbrite has a ton of networking events that they have listed and you can go to, but you don't necessarily have to go there. You can look on social media. You can, I mean, honestly, the possibilities are endless, and it's just you doing your research to be able to see what is out there. And obviously we're in quarantine now, but once this quarantine is over, this is where you'll be able to practice everything that I'm telling you. Okay, so tip number 3, practice makes perfect. So starting with the local people you know is really what's gonna help you build that confidence. So for example, I want to be a media correspondent, and so I actually took two of my friends. One is a rapper, or an up-and-coming rapper, and the other is an up-and-coming singer, and I did interviews with both of them, and I interviewed them for about an hour long about their upbringing, their musical talent, their skills, their genre, literally everything that has to do with their projects. And that really helped me get more comfortable on camera, you know, get more comfortable talking to somebody, asking them questions, listening, being able to respond back to what they're saying. It was really, really helpful. And I actually have two of those interviews in my past videos if you guys scroll down. So that's really good. Practice really does make perfect. So if you practice with people that you know, or people that are reachable to you, that'll really help you in getting everything going and building that momentum. So I definitely think that is key, because nothing happens overnight, and you definitely have to practice to get better. If you don't practice, you'll be rusty, and then if a moment comes where somebody says, hey, I have a gig, do you want to go? All of a sudden you feel like you feel like you can't do it. Your confidence isn't high enough for you to even want to go to the event, because you haven't prepared or practiced prior to this, you know? Tip number 4, know your information. So know exactly what you want out of the event, who you're looking to speak to, have your target audience. In general, when you go to an event, you want to have a goal in mind. Okay, I'm here to speak to these 3 individuals, to ask them these specific questions, and then after that, I'm going to be posting it on this media news channel, or I'm going to be working with this channel to be posting that content up there. You always want to have the goals in mind and know what you're going there for, or who you're going there to speak, because you want to be prepared and not look like you're out of place or look like you don't know what you're doing. You want to be able to stand your ground and be like, I'm here because I was invited here, and because I have people to speak to and things to find out. You know what I'm saying? So that's number 4. Number 5 is literally my favorite. Just have fun. You guys have to just have fun with it. There's nothing that you should be doing if you're not having fun with something you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it at all. That's like, I feel like the number 1 rule. You really need to know how to have fun, because a lot of the times I think we focus on the goal and the outcome, but we don't focus on the process and the journey. I think that's where you learn the most, and you need to be able to appreciate the process to then appreciate and be grateful of the outcome and the goal, you know? So I think having fun is the number 1 key. It's like the unwritten rule on top of being confident. I really think that I can say that those 5 tips of faking it till you make it really helped me to get all those interviews and really do the damn thing while I was there. And so I think this would really be helpful for anyone that's looking to break into an industry or do better in their industry. You can practice or try out these 5 tips, and I think they're gonna be a game changer. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this video. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's super important, as you guys know. And I will see you guys in the next video.